What's up, guys? I'm Random Frank P, back with another episode of Cool Tech Under $50 for June, the series where we show off some of the best tech you can find under that price. If you guys see anything you like today, I'm gonna have it all listed for you in the description down below so you can check it out. Spoiler, things go out of stock quickly. Amazon bumps the prices up when they see a mass influx of traffic, so hop on it while you can. But if you want to win today, all you got to do is drop a thumbs up down below, leave a comment on what your favorite item was and why you liked it. Then third, make sure you're subscribed because I'm only gonna pick subscribers. Speaking of which, shout out to last month's winners. I've been in contact with you so you can claim your tech from last month's episode. I usually do 5 winners, but if we get 10,000 thumbs up on this video, I'll double it next month to 10. Now before we kick it off, this episode is sponsored by Whatnot. Whatnot's an online social marketplace where you can discover some of your favorite products like sports cards, Pokemon cards, different tech and electronics, tons of other things, all with these rapid fire auctions happening in real time. For my stream coming up, we have PC components, a bunch of peripherals, some really cool retro tech, and we're gonna have over 5 giveaways you guys saw from my unboxing video. Tons of cool stuff on our next stream. Speaking of which, my next stream is tonight, June 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern, right on the Whatnot app. So definitely come by and check it out. Like I said, 5 giveaways going on tonight. And if you sign up with my link down below or scan the QR code I've had on screen, you can get $15 off your first purchase. So even better deals on some stuff with $15 free to put towards anything. Links down below. Hope to see you tonight. First up today is a fun little one. This is the Cheerdots2 detachable touchpad mouse. I've been seeing this all over Instagram lately and it seemed pretty awesome for this all-in-one productivity mouse for the office or work on the go, so I wanted to pick one up and see for myself. Checking it out, the main module here is the actual mouse itself. It has your standard left and right clicks, but the surface is all a touchpad. So you can swipe to scroll up and down or do things like pinch to zoom, swipe to switch desktops or apps, and it can be used entirely by itself. But if you are at the desktop and you want some extra comfort for that more traditional mouse grip, there's a detachable magnetic rest that snaps into place for your palm to rest on. It's a really well done little modular extension that's so simple, and it does feel better to use this way. Now another reason the palm rest is detachable is because on the back you can switch it to use in air mode. So, like a wireless presentation mouse. You still have access to all the same gestures and clicks, but now you're just using your thumb to do everything. So like I was saying, more for like the work environment and stuff like that, but also on the side in air mode, there was a little laser pointer. So like I said, presentations, stuff like that. Underneath the mouse is how you can switch from the air or the standard use settings, as well as pairing to 2 Bluetooth devices and your DPI control. And honestly, for someone who could use something like this, it's gonna be a game changer to have all these gesture controls and mouse functionality at the same time, all in this 2-in-1 compact mouse. I know a lot of you are also gamers, but no, not really intended for that, which is why I've been sort of hammering home the work and productivity aspect of this mouse. But for right at $50, it's really well made and unique. Definitely a cool pickup for the price. Now, next up from FiFine is their Amplagame AM8T bundle here of their XLR and USB microphone, as well as the boom arm. So for this price range, sounds incredible, really a solid value. Also, for this segment, obviously, I'll be using the mic so you can hear how it sounds. So checking it out, the microphone is solid, feels nice and hefty in the hands, and it's attached to this mount so you can either use it with your own desktop stand or, like we have with the bundle, a boom arm here. Built into the mic itself are all your controls. You have 2 dials for adjusting your gain and the headphone volume for monitoring. There's a touch-sensitive RGB button for cycling through the different effects and the static colors if you wanted to match your setup theme or just disable it altogether. Underneath are your XLR, USB-C, and headphone ports, and then on the other side features a touch-sensitive mic mute button to quickly mute your audio on the fly, so everything you need right in front of you to adjust. The included boom arm in this bundle attaches to your desk with a C-clamp. Once tightened, you can connect the boom arm and lock that into place, then screwing on your mic via the 5/8 inch thread on top so you can position it right in front of you and adjust the arm as needed. Now, with this mic, it's a dynamic cardioid pickup pattern, so it's best positioned right in front of your mouth, talking into the top of the mic. Not the front side, not the back side, directly into the top as I have it here. I have it positioned only maybe around 2 to 3 inches away from my mouth, and then you can adjust the gain accordingly. I have it only at about like 20% gain, and this is how it sounds. So definitely really good. Nice tonality to my voice. Really impressed with it. No background buzzing, no like static floor. Sounds really good. Now, I've been using this over USB-C, but if you want to use it with an XLR and you have an audio interface and you want to control it all that way, you can. But just having the USB access to adjust everything with the built-in dials and the RGB, it's really a quick plug-and-play solution over USB-C. So really, really convenient, and it's going to get the job done. Now, you guys know how Amazon is. Prices are always fluctuating, but the AM8T microphone and the boom arm bundle can usually be found right at $50 on sale. Also comes in a black color like we have, white, or pink. So 3 different color options to match your setup. Coming up next is your monthly Random Frank P special. Every time I come across a useful desktop gadget in form of a macro pad, you know I'll check it out. This is the Hagibis Knob, a USB-C docking station that has a bunch of ports and hubs built in, letting you simplify a crowded desk setup into a streamlined, compact hub with some extra functionality. So checking it out, the hub first and foremost features the obvious, that big ol' knob. If you don't have like a desktop amp DAC at the setup already or some sort of volume dial to your peripherals, this offers volume adjustment and muting your audio. But the surrounding 4 corners are also buttons, letting you lock your display or turn it off, take a screenshot, and control the built-in RGB as the knob has this like ring glowing inside of it. Then the backside features 8 additional ports, all acting as a pass-through. So great for plugging in things like, a hard drive, your peripherals, headphones, an external monitor. And with a hub like this, it's definitely designed and intended to be used most with like your laptop setup. Because with it being so compact, you can have just everything plugged into the back of here, external monitor out, and now control your entire laptop setup just from this tiny little hub. But of course, it's not just for the laptop. You can use it with your gaming setup as well. It's still going to offer you those same benefits and functionality, and you can keep it tucked away, but still, at an arm's reach to change up the volume or take a quick screenshot. Now, as of recording this, there is no software or way to adjust what those 4 face buttons do. I'm sure someone savvy out there can create a script or something to change them up, but that's why those display buttons are mainly made for, laptops and that in mind. But for me, having those built-in SD card readers is clutch, and I can just plug in my other drives on the back, charge my phone at the same time with the 100-watt port, all coming in right at $50 for this, which is a really good price. That volume knob, also gonna be great if you're a big music head. So bear with me for a second. For this next one, I'm gonna need you guys to trust me for a few minutes. Now, this is a 7-inch touchscreen display. And like I said, just hear me out, because this isn't even gonna necessarily be about the screen itself, okay? So I'm gonna focus more on what you can use this with, but it's gonna be a game changer at the setup. So yes, this 7-inch touchscreen here is crucial. It's also under $50 and will still be linked down below, but no more beating around the bush. Elgato just released a virtual Stream Deck update, letting you create a Stream Deck virtually on your PC. So you combine that now with a touchscreen, and you have your very own custom Stream Deck that can do anything you want. So let's take a look at how you can do this. And if you've ever used a Stream Deck in the past and you know their software, setup is no different. Except now you have the virtual device tab, letting you create any setup up to 8 rows and 8 columns, and you can do things like adjust the size, the frame color, and overall opacity. Then once you create your desired virtual setup and workflow, you can either have it just on your screen at all times, use a hotkey to hide it, or like we're doing here, use that secondary touchscreen to literally use our virtual Stream Deck now as a Stream Deck. The screen is 1024 by 600 resolution, so the pixel density here at 7 inches is more than enough so it won't look blurry or pixelated, and you won't be fat fingering or misclicking any of the buttons. I have it set up with my most used apps and websites, so like my main hub for everything on a day-to-day basis, my Shadowplay integrations. Then from there, things like a complete Spotify UI, so I can control my music, change my playback sources, bring up different playlists, launch my favorite albums, and so on, all customizable. And things like my editing programs have all the hotkeys and macros set for quick functions while editing. Something else cool you can do is hide the empty keys, so you can have them on different parts of your screen without these blank borders everywhere, which then allows you to create these cool clusters of macros, which looks pretty cool. And since this is all unlimited, you can have thousands of these VSDs up in a program at the same time, so they're just everywhere, literally. thousands. If you want to keep a more minimal approach, you can have it just pop up under your cursor for these quick macros. Great for gaming or again with like editing. Have these virtual macros pop up when you need them to help out with your overall workflow. As a macro pad lover, I've always been a fan of the Stream Decks and what Elgato's been doing. So having this virtually now with their marketplace available with thousands of profiles and plugins, it's a really cool way to take your setup and overall productivity to the next level. And if you do want to pick up this touchscreen, works really well with it. Great for just a secondary display on the desk, but just make sure you calibrate it in your Windows settings under the touch control settings so it can act as an independent screen. But then once you have both that knob hub and the screen being used together with the VSD, you have a functioning little makeshift Spotify car thing. Nice little combo here. And then adding on to that with any touchscreen in your life, you know, your fingers are oily from all those freak-offs and always leave smudges on your screen, right? So I found these reusable and washable cleaning pads from KUVRD that can be used on anything to keep the screen nice and clean. This 6-pack here is cool because I can keep one of the pads on the back of that monitor to just, wipe it down and clear it of smudges, then stick it back on the backside. I also keep one of the larger pads on the inside of my laptop to give the screen a wipe down every now and then. You can also keep one on your phone. Or what these were originally intended for, camera lenses. They're actually a photography company, so definitely a useful little tool to keep the lens clean without scratching it. Then if it starts to get dirty or the residue isn't sticking, just run it under water, clean the pad, and stick it back on for next time, good as new again. A cool little bonus integration here. This is only like $15. And then speaking of photography, what if I told you there was an entire photo studio here kept in this bag? So check this out. From Puluz or Puluz, I don't know, we have this pop-up light box that acts as this all-in-one contained photo studio. It comes with 6 different colored inserts for your backdrops and a reflector, plus an internal light diffuser to mount up top with the light ring inside. Just plugs in via USB, you can adjust the color temperature and the brightness with the built-in controls, and you're good to go. Now, what I like about this is you can use this traditionally, just like taking photos straight on. But on top is this cutout for top-down shots. Perfect for sticking a lens into or for something as simple as your phone. Now, a lot of you guys know by now from being here over the years, I am huge into collecting vintage Pokemon cards, both buying and selling, and this has been clutch for that. I know something like this won't appeal to everyone, but if you sell stuff on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, easiest way to catch people's attention is with a good listing photo. So something like this is gonna get the job done, not gonna take up much space at all since it just folds up and can be stored away. They sell these in a few different sizes, but this one here is 12 by 12 by 12 and super affordable. Pricing usually fluctuates between like $25 and $35, which is still a good price for the overall kit. So all right guys, that'll wrap it up for this episode of Cool Tech under $50 for June. Hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, everything we showed off today listed for you guys in the description down below so you can check it out. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on all socials at randomfrankp. And last, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hope y'all enjoyed. Have a good day.